What's good, Josh? Your boy J Suave. I am the host of J Suave TV. And we gotta address the Reg size elephant in the room. Now, I wanted to come on here and recap The Chi Season 7, Episode 3 before Episode 4 drops later tonight. But then I thought to myself, the episode's already been out for long enough. Let me just wait till Episode 4 before I start the Chi episode recap. Instead, I want to talk about Reg's return to the franchise. Now, I said in a short that I dropped yesterday that I'm not the biggest fan of how bro came back, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm against him coming back. I had to turn the AC on, it's too hot in this car. As long as they provide us with some kind of explanation on how bro managed to survive. I went back and watched a best of Reg video that The Chi just dropped literally 4 days ago, right on time when they brought him back. These niggas think they phony. I mainly went back to that video to remind myself who Reg was when he was on the series. What were his closest relationships like? What was his relationship like with Jake? Did he ever interact with Trigg before Trigg was introduced in Season 3? Who was he to the streets of Chicago? And how all that could be applied to the present day of where we are currently in the series. But they ended that video with him literally getting shot up. I'm talking this shorty on a motorcycle literally pulled out a Uzi and emptied the entire clip on bro. Now he was with Big Mike, so I guess he managed to take his body away and nurse him back to health after all this time. Mind you, mad time has passed. So that's my thing too. Like, it's not like a Unique situation. When it came to Unique, he was taken out presumably in episode 5 of season 3 of Raising Kanan. Then immediately came back in the season 3 finale. Then we got an explanation of what the hell happened to bro, what he went through all that time in the season 4 premiere of Raising Kanan. With Reg, we don't get that. We get this nigga coming off of a bus in a dark ass fit. Them showrunners really wanted to hide the fact that it was Reg. We already had confirmation that he was coming back before the episode dropped. You are not surprising anybody. The only surprise is the fact that bro was alive and he's coming back this late in the series. So as long as a good explanation is provided as to how Reg came back, I'm okay with him coming back. But even if there wasn't a good explanation on why he came back, I still do think his inclusion in this season could be good for The Chi going forward. We already know that Chi's been renewed for a season 8, and I don't see them bringing Reg back just to kill him in the same season. And they for damn sure did not bring him back for no reason after missing all this time. So in this video, I just want to give my thoughts on what I think Reg is going to get into in this season, going into season 8, and overall what he's going to bring to the series now that he's back. You already know what y'all gotta do. If you like anything I gotta say out all in this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. The goal for this channel is 1,000+ subscribers before DreamCon 2026. I know you peeped them dates for DreamCon 2026. This is now sometime earlier this week, and I'm definitely spinning back for my 3rd DreamCon. Yes, I am. If you wasn't there this year, you need to pull up next year. The opportunity is there. I'm telling y'all right now. Need to pull up, stop playing with y'all potential, and lock in with yourselves. Just come out for a good time, if anything. But yeah, that's the channel goal. 1,000+ subscribers by DreamCon 2026. I know we can do it. I'm not even tripping. I mean, damn, God forbid I'm still in the 3 digits by July 2026. That means I'm not doing my job. And that would also mean y'all not doing y'all job. Subscribe right now. So now that Reg is back in the series 5 seasons later, what does that mean for The Chi? And the best way to answer this question is to have an understanding of who Reg was before he died, in order to have a full understanding of what he can provide and bring to the table now that we know he survived his ordeal. We know Reg is the brother of Jake and Trigg, or Victor. He's a gangster in Chicago who had ties to characters like Q and Duda. And there was a point in time where he was the boss of his gang. I forgot what street gang he claimed or whatever. I'm not into the street shit. I talk about TV shows. So I would not know, nor do I care to know like that. He wasn't even leading the gang for long enough to really care because Duda was always in this man's ear. Okay, boss, I'm tired of your carelessness here, and you're the reason why my business is failing there. So yeah, they didn't really have the best business relationship. In fact, I would not be surprised if Duda was the one who sent shots at Reg to begin with. I don't know if that's confirmed. I didn't see all that in the 30-minute video I watched with the best of Reg at the Chi drop recently. I just feel like it's very convenient that Duda planted the seeds to have Jake stay at his house, telling Reg all this shit about Jake is talented, he got potential, and that we need to ensure that he has no rap sheet before 9th grade because he could do great things for this organization. Even offering him a job at the restaurant, while also knowing that Reg, through his actions, was making things bad for Duda's business. And now knowing what we know about Duda, as shiesty as he is, I would not be surprised if he was the one who set Reg up. I think that would give Reg even more motivation to come back and want to take over Duda's spot. Now, before Reg was gone, we know he had relationships with Papa, Jake, and Kevin. But obviously, his deepest connection was with Jake. That's his little brother, for crying out loud. He tried to steer him on the wrong path, respectfully. More so in season 1, he was trying to keep him in the books in season 2. In season 1, that man was not playing no games with Jake. I'm talking Jake took his gun, he sat him down like he was about to give him a haircut, only to put the razor to Jake's eye. That nigga was moving real different. I bet Jake never tried some shit like that with Reg ever again. So glad I watched this 30-minute video because it put things so much in perspective from when they reunited. And seeing Jake freeze up a Reg press up against that fridge, I had to put the reminder in bro's head that big bro is back. Outside of Reg wanting to take over Duda's business, I think this is the most interesting storyline that we could potentially touch on in season 7. and that is Reg's influence on Jake in this season. We know Jake ain't really getting into shit last season for real. Outside of selling his clothes, his on and off with Gemma, and his situationship with the first lady that's now obsolete as of this last episode. Which credit to the Shy for getting rid of so many needless situations in this last episode. I gotta give him a standing ovation. Sending Maisha, Gemma, and Papa's old girl off the show, that's probably the best decision y'all could make. It's not just because it's their characters. I actually like those characters except for Papa's girl. Don't really understand what she had going on with Zay. But it just feels good to see that they're getting rid of old storylines to bring in new ones. New ones with more potential than the old one. Because when we really think about it, what was Maisha, Gemma, and Papa's girl doing last season for real? A whole lot of nothing. And they sending Brittany ass away too. Thank God. Can't trust her for shit. I think this is a good storyline that the Shy is bringing in to see Jake have to battle with what Reg is putting in his head. Potentially see Jake getting back into the streets, which would be the first time in quite some time that we've seen him outside. We know Jake has been involved in the street life as recently as this season. Tried to give Zay back the money that he gave him in season 6 to fund his business, and then Zay proceeded to give him a black eye. I don't know why bro took that money to begin with, as if you don't know who Zay is running with. I say all that to say the street life is not foreign to Jake at all. It's been a minute since we've seen Jake up the pole on anybody. We seen how open Reg was to having Jake be in the life in season 1 of the show. Imagine now with Jake being older, not having to worry about school. He's gonna want him to be outside even more so that he can help Reg get more money and get to that place where he could overthrow Nuck in Duda's business. But I also noticed in that 30-minute best of Reg video is that the love that Reg had for Jake felt genuine in season 2. Obviously, Jake's a lot older, and Reg has been out the series for 5 seasons. Both their characters have changed since season 2. So does Reg still have that love for Jake? You seen when Jake was like, he good off the street shit, Reg was like, nah, F all that. You gonna be running with me again like you was back in the day. So is there any room for Jake to talk at all when it comes to this man? Or is he just too far gone? We have to see. One thing I'm definitely excited to see is this dichotomy that's gonna happen. Y'all heard the word I said, dichotomy. Look it up, that's the SAT word. But the dichotomy between Reg and Trigg is going to be very interesting in this season. Like Trigg said to Reg in this episode, I'm glad you alive, but I hope you don't do some shit that's gonna end up getting you killed again or something along those lines. I think that might be some foreshadowing for down the line. Like I said, I don't think Reg is gonna die in this season. But I can definitely see Reg dying in a way that protects Jake and brings it all full circle to how he was feeling about him in season 2 and how protective he was of him, making sure he was in the books, all that. But in the immediate sense, like I said, I'm interested to seeing how Jake responds to Trigg and Reg in this season. Both brothers who are obviously trying to lead Jake on different paths. And it'll be interesting to see which path Jake decides to lean on. I'm assuming it's going to be more on the side of Reg, just because Reg has been out this series for a lot longer. He's a lot less relevant than Trigg at the moment. You need to give Reg more things to do, and I feel like having Jake in his corner is going to give him more screen time and allow us to see how Reg is going to get to that top spot by the end of the season, I assume anyway. Or at the very least, how he's going to stand up against Nuck. Obviously, we know Nuck is the leader of Duda's great organization at this point. He feels like he's untouchable. Why wouldn't he? His only op is Alicia right now. But you throw Reg in the mix now, with the connection he had in the Shy before he departed, anything is possible. I'm just saying. Maybe some people don't like how Nuck does things and they decide they want to team up with Reg later on in the season. It seems like Nuck is real laid back with how he runs things right now, so I can't really see that happening. But there are going to be challenges that Nuck is going to have to face now that he's in Duda's role. And I think Reg is going to be one of those challenges. So seeing him overcome Reg is going to be very interesting. And seeing how Reg combats Nuck to get to that top spot is also going to be very compelling as well. Yeah, man, those are just my quick thoughts on Reg's reintroduction into the story. I don't necessarily think it's a bad move on the Shy showrunner's part. But there is some groundwork that I feel like they got to do in explaining how the hell he came back after all this time, as well as establishing him as a real threat to go up against Nuck and Alicia, because I shit on Alicia all the time. The show is clearly building her up to be some kind of threat. I hope so anyway. Hopefully we don't got another Noma situation on our hands. Yeah, I'll leave y'all thoughts in the comments. What do y'all think about Reg coming back, and what do y'all think he's going to bring to the story now that he's here? All I got for y'all today though, man. I've been your host, Chase, so I hope you've been entertained. Here we go, talk soon. Peace, y'all.